Alright, what's going on, friends? In this video I'm going to show you what I do to my dehumidifier to just clean it. At least once a year I try to tear my dehumidifier apart and clean it out. Some of the dehumidifiers will come with a filter. So if you have a filter on your dehumidifier, I'd hope maybe you're cleaning that filter out at least once a month. And even if you have a filter on your dehumidifier, you're still probably going to want to tear that thing apart sometime, maybe at the end of the season or the beginning of the season, because you're probably going to see when I get this tore apart how dirty mine is. So all I'm really going to use, you don't got to get too crazy with this, but I know I don't feel like buying another dehumidifier because the new stuff nowadays doesn't seem to ever last. So I have some super clean, which is like a degreaser, so I'm going to watch spraying this on too much of this stuff, but I know it's getting kind of really gross down inside here, and so I'm going to spray some of this down in there to try to break up some of that stuff. And I'm just going to use some simple green, maybe on the some of the coils inside here. And that's about it. And I have a hose I'm going to use, and my shop vac, just to vacuum this out before I start getting it all wet. So let me tear it apart real quick. And if your dehumidifier is not exactly like mine, just watch how you tear it apart so you know how to put it back together. Just make sure you unplug this before you start tearing your dehumidifier apart. Now, this is how bad mine looks. Now the water's going to drip off of these coils here, go down into this little pan. So you're going to want to make sure you kind of clean out your pan below that a little bit too, because if not, your dehumidifier is going to start leaking all over your floor. If I did have a filter, I wouldn't get so much dust on this. I just put a little brush on the front of my shop vac. You see how bad that is? That side there I just vacuumed. Now this side's how dusty it is. Just, if you're gonna vacuum these off, I hope you have a brush kind of like I had. Just be real careful of these little fins in here. They're real thin and they will smash real easily. Like I already have some that are smashed. They do make a tool to straighten these out, so I'm gonna tear this back piece of mine off. You could probably stop right there and it'd probably be okay, but I don't think it can hurt to tear this off and see what it looks like in here. See, these coils in the back are not near as bad, but I can spray this off gently with my hose. So I got to be real careful because I have a fan right here. I don't want to get all wet. So like I said, you could probably stop just on the front. That front side is what's going to be the worst. It's up to you. Careful of the wires. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad on the back side. These coils are not that bad, but the air sucks through this way. So that's why this catches all that dust. I'm going to try to maybe vacuum this up a little bit, and then I'll spray this off real gently. Maybe I'll cover that with a little piece of plastic or something. I'm just going to try to clean that up. Let me do that real quick. Spray some of this super clean down inside here just to try to let that soak a little bit. I'm going to spray some of this Simple Green on here. Just let that soak a little bit. Now I'm going to try to cover this motor up a little bit just so I don't get it too wet. I don't want to get that too wet, so I'm going to spray a little water on this. That should work. I turned my pressure way down on my hose so it doesn't spray real hard. That's a lot cleaner. Also try to spray off some of this dust on the bottom. Now I took my shop vac and I put this on my exhaust port on my shop vac so it will blow air out. And I'm going to just try to dry some of this off. All right, time to put this back together. All right, even if you do like I did and use your shop vac to try to dry this off, still be really careful around them fins. That air's coming out fast enough you could start bending over a bunch of your fins. This is like a two-man job putting this back on. Jeez. All right, there ain't too much to this dehumidifier. It's just really watch how you take it apart. Like I said, if you only do the front side, that'll help you get a lot more use out of your dehumidifier for many years if you at least try to keep all that dust out of there. And it'll work a lot better. Just remember when you're doing that cleaning, just really be careful of them fins and watch for some of the wires and some of the electrical parts on there. You don't want to get those parts too wet. Maybe you can, try to vacuum them off really lightly, but just be real careful with them parts, and I think you'll be all right. I'd probably try to wait till some of it is dry before you go plug it in. Some of these parts are made to stay wet all the time anyway, but just to be careful, just in case you got some of your electrical parts maybe a little bit wet, I'd maybe let it dry off for a little bit before you plug it back in. But that's about it. Thanks for watching my video. Give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button to help support my channel. God bless and have a great day.